I want to talk about hard drives for a couple minutes because obviously we play. I know, sexy topic, right?
Excited.
Who's got the boner now?
Man, so many boners.
I know. It's an enthusiastic Xbox
That's
podcast.
true.
It's going to be a strange video if you're only watching this breakout.
It's
and you
compatible.
do not have the context for this.
That's the best part, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that drives the curiosity to listen to the rest of the show. And
Yo, where's all this boner talk coming from?
What's this show all about? But no, it's the Xbox One does support external hard drives, and the PS4 supports swapping the internal hard drive. I finally got to the point after, a year and 2 months, year and 3 months, filled up my 500 gig default Xbox One internal hard drive. And, I mean, I'd filled it up before, but, I would just delete stuff I wasn't playing. I finally got to a point where I said, okay, because there are certain games, whether it's Forza Horizon 2, Master Chief Collection, Evolve, I want to keep around, Sunset Overdrive, where I do not want to delete this because I just want it here at a moment's notice. I don't want to have to re-download it, reinstall it. So I got to a point, finally reached the point where I'm like, okay, I can't uninstall anything else. So I finally had to buy an external hard drive, and I'm not that happy about it.
Whoa.
No.
How big was it?
Does it not run well?
No, it works great. It's just the fact that I have to spend money.
$100 extra.
$100 extra
a year and a half into the
to play more video games.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's kind of like
Mine's full too. I have to delete the fitness game I know I'll never use.
No. Yeah, I've never had to spend extra money like that to play on a video game console. Now, I mean, in hindsight, it's not that I want to be able to play off of discs because having everything installed to the hard drive is good. It makes games run better, but I just wish, and I know there are costs and economics, and it's both Sony and Microsoft that made the same decision, but man, it is a shame to me that these two consoles both ship with 500 gig drives when they knew
Well, games are way bigger now.
right
too,
when they
so
knew that every
big
game.
problem.
I mean, launch games. Call of Duty Ghost was 5 gigs.
Yeah.
NBA
One of the
2K
basketball games, was huge.
was the same, 40 something, almost 50 gigs.
Well, now with
Call of
everything
Duty
getting
was 20.
and
something.
everything is getting expansions, so you have to have the core game installed. Plus, you're going to get these
Right.
1, 2,
Well,
3, 4, 1
and
gig
how about
downloads.
Things like Assassin's Creed Unity has a 600 meg patch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate that we've reached that point. But more positively, I did want to just, if you are in the same position, I actually I did a little bit of research, but mostly just I remembered a tweet from Eric Newstetter, the Vowel on Twitter, who's Xbox Live's operations lead.
He's been on the show before.
He has been on the show. Super nice guy, and he knows this. I figure, well, if he recommends it, that's good enough for me. He had recommended a Seagate 2 terabyte Slim. It's like a pocket drive.
The passport style.
And so it's $100 off of Amazon. No problem, free shipping. So I went with that, and the nice part is it actually sort of matches the look of the console.
Nice.
It's sort of the same gloss black, and even its activity light is white that matches the.
Nice.
So it sort of matches the console.
Is it one of the hard drives? Does it need a external power supply?
That was my very next point. Was a lot of people started tweeting me, oh, well, if you would have spent $25 more, you could have got a 4 terabyte. And it's like, well, that's fine. But for me, it sort of came down to two things. One, this hard drive is bus powered, USB powered, so you don't have to run a separate thing to plug into the wall. So it's literally as plug and play as it gets.
Cool.
Then the other thing too is, I could have got 4 terabytes, but I was, again, angry at having to spend any money to begin with.
Yeah.
So even an extra $25, I was like, well, I'm already spending $100. I need to draw the line somewhere.
Well, for another $25, you could have got the 8 terabyte.
Right. But also, it's just like I did the math, and let's say average 40 gigs a game.
Yeah.
Which is probably that's
going to be closer to
that's
reality. So.
Conservative, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of it's actually probably going to be.
It's going to be going up, but you would imagine.
Yeah, I'd hold more, but that's 50 games.
Yeah.
That if they're 40 gigabytes apiece, so that's a lot of games. I'm not going to fill that for a while.
Well, yeah,
you know
and at
what
a
I mean?
certain point, some of the games that you're keeping around, I think you'll probably delete Forza once the next couple Forzas come out. So
yeah.
And what about when the 3-disc Forza game comes out? 3 discs to install it.
3 Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Coming soon.
That
You
would
could
be-
drive anywhere in the world.
Destin, you actually, for both the PS4 and Xbox One,
Filled them up,
at launch,
Yeah.
you ran a test to see, because back then the consoles, or at least the Xbox. I don't know about PS4, but
They didn't say how much was
Yeah,
left.
it didn't show you exactly how much of the 500 gigs you had.
right.
Yeah.
And what did you find? Was it like 380 something? Was
Yeah, it was not really close. There's a lot reserved for the OS.
Which is
Yeah.
always the case on any
also-
computer or device.
We just had a freelance I just used both of those videos that you made in a freelance feature written by IGN freelancer Jenna Pitcher, who wrote about why like 500 gigabytes is not enough. Like this is no longer acceptable.
Yeah.
We need machines with bigger hard drives.
At
For
the-
exactly the stuff you're talking about.
So the fact that I'd filled my 500 gigs, I'd actually only filled, what was it? It's like 380 something?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly, but it was
Something
like
in that ballpark.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So at least now, the good news there is 2 terabytes that I bought is
You're good.
actually 2 terabytes
Yeah.
and not 1.4
Yeah, yeah.
terabytes. So yeah, if you're so you just gotta think about it. Like, do you want something that you have to plug into the wall or not? Because you'll pay a little bit more for the USB powered drive, but you then won't have to run a cable, and it's super portable.
Yeah.
How much do you really like? Yeah, 4 terabytes might sound like a good idea, but in the end, again, 2 terabytes is so. There are sort of a number of weird decisions that you have to make when you're going to go
They're gonna
buy
start-
a hard drive.
They're going to start throwing bigger hard drives in there, and they already kind of have, haven't they, with some
Well,
of the models?
the Call of Duty,
Yeah.
hideous Call of Duty model
Has a terabyte?
has a 1 terabyte
Yeah.
in it.
The hideous Call of Duty model.
It
It's
is.
pretty
It's-
ugly. No,
it's
it's pretty
Elena
ugly.
has one smashed apart on her desk.
Yeah, which is like, wow, I've always wanted to do that, and you just office space that thing.
Why
You
is it
just took
smashed
out in the
apart?
field.
What happened?
She took it apart to look at the components, I think.
Oh, it's like
That's our tech editor at work.
Yeah.
Disassembling
Can I
consoles.
just take that terabyte hard drive out and put it in my Xbox?
I want-
Yeah,
actually,
right.
might
That'd
wanna
be a
ask her.
good video. Yeah.
You gonna use that? No.
But yeah,
Alright.
no, I mean, whenever that Slim that we've talked over and over about, that inevitably will almost certainly hit this year.
Right.
It's gonna have a 1 terabyte drive in it. Like I would bet like 6 In-N-Out lunches on that. Anybody call?
What's that?
It's getting out of control.
Yeah, I seriously, I don't know if it's an in-and-out addiction or a gambling addiction. But you have one of them.
It's an In-N-Out gambling addiction. Let's just
In-N-Out
be real
in my
specific.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next In-N-Out burger will be opening in my backyard.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be super
That'd be
lucrative.
the
That would
best.
I'd also gain.
You would also
80
die.
Pounds.
Yeah, you would die.
I'd just,
Very
my
quickly.
heart would stop.
Yeah.
That would be the end of that. But
Phantom Dust and Phantom Crash are
But-
backwards compatible, by the way, on
Nice.
360.
Nice.
So Marty, you can get your Mech Assault
Excellent.
on.
Probably not gonna do that.
What about the Phantom Menace?
That was a PS1
Pod
game.
Racer.
Oh, Pod Racer.
Racer,
Remember
Star
that?
Wars.
Pod Racer
Was
so
that
good,
a
man.
Xbox?
No, that was an N64 and PS1 game.
But yeah, I just figured. I mean, we're kind of. I think everybody sooner or later is going to find themselves. All Xbox One owners are going to find themselves staring in the face of, well, I guess I got to buy
Yeah.
something now.
Yeah.
For more storage. So
I'm just gonna
money
keep
on-
doing data management.
It's money on the table for Microsoft too. Like, if you can release a bigger hard drive or a Xbox One branded external hard drive for a decent price.
Don't give them ideas.
that's the thing.
Don't
Actually,
go back to Xbox.
Somebody tweeted me that.
360.
It's fun. I'm glad you brought that up because somebody, I was sort of complaining about it on Twitter, like, I'm just upset that I have to spend money at all. And somebody said, well, at least it wasn't like the 360 where your
Yeah.
only option was to buy a crazily overpriced proprietary hard drive.
That was a nightmare.
So thank God that you can just go on Amazon and
Yeah.
pick from 6,000 different
Yeah,
external
very true.
hard drives. Thank you, based Microsoft, I guess. All right, well, that's it for the hard drive talk. We'll come right back and do the news.